Yo, what's up guys? Bajheera here. Wanted to share with you a few 2v2 arena matches that I had while I was trying to cap out my character for the week. Now I did these games off stream, but I did record them for you, so I figured I'd share them here with you guys as well. And one of the things that I see a lot of you guys asking about is some Fury tips, because you've seen me probably playing some Fury in 2v2 and 3v3 arena. So I said, you know what? This might be a kind of a fun time to share some games with you guys and give some Fury tips as well. So these games, once again, we're on our way to 2400 plus in 2v2 actually. So in terms of asking if Fury is viable, I've been playing Fury at around 2750 plus in threes, and even though I don't do as many twos, we were able to get 2400 plus in twos, and that's a pretty good break point to have due to the fact that you do get that nice 375 loot that drops from arena matches if occasionally if you win, and then of course you get that 385 piece at the end of the week if you cap out your conquest and get that rating. So these games right here, I'm playing the build that I talked about a fair amount in my sort of Fury tips and talents video that I posted for you guys recently, so you can sort of swing by there and get a feel for it. But the reason I like playing Fury so much, especially in arena, is you'll see that I get slowed sometimes, but one of the things about Fury is it's so fast-paced in terms of its rotation, and it's so fast-paced in terms of, you being able to pursue a target with your PvP talent, thirst for battle, clearing your snares and stuff, and it allows you to just have a whole lot of uptime, just deal a whole lot of damage. And one of the things that I think that has helped me out is being willing and able to just swap targets, because you don't have like a big mortal strike, you don't have a lot of bleeds. And so one of the things that ends up happening is you just apply a lot of pressure by staying mobile, keeping that uptime high, and dealing a ton of damage. So some of these games are pretty long, especially against this Resto Shaman team. Resto Shamans are so tanky, and it takes forever to kill them. So we're just going to go ahead and bring you guys in like the last 2 minutes of this battle, something like that. So a lot of times I'm going to be swapping around and just kind of hitting what I can against that H-Pally Feral Druid team. And maybe I even should have been swapping around against this team a little bit, but I know that the Demon Hunter is just going to run at my Paladin the entire game. And me trying to hit the Demon Hunter is just going to end up getting us both cleaved and give the Shaman plenty of time to do whatever they want to do. So I'm pretty much just training the Resto Shaman. The Demon Hunter is just training my Pally down, which is going to allow me to stack up Death Wish to slowly and steadily do more and more damage to this Shaman. So what the Shaman's trying to do is just spam Fate Cast me. So I'm going to try to hold my kick as best I can. But it's funny because the Shaman doesn't ever have to cast any spells, and it'll still kind of stay relatively healthy. So I'm just holding on to my kick. I'm using my stun to kind of give me some reliable chances to deal damage. Trying to keep that Death Wish stacked up. Basically generating rage through Bloodthirst and Raging Blow, and spending that rage through Rampages. And when the enemy team is stacked up, I will try to do a little bit of a Whirlwind into Rampage to deal damage to both of them, just to kind of whittle them both down. But I think one of the things in this situation about Fury is you don't necessarily really want to cleave that much, I feel like, because like swapping between targets and maintaining two people's health a little bit low is one thing, but I didn't really feel like my cleave damage was all that effective as Fury against something like this. So I think the single target is one of those things that allowed me to just kind of actually muscle somebody down, especially in the situation of a Resto Shaman. When they have Riptides on different targets, it's not going to deal that much damage to cleave him like that. But against targets that do struggle to multi-target heal, the cleave might be a little bit effective. But I think in general, it's best if you just kind of focus on that single target damage and burst somebody down like that. But once again, if you want to create cleave pressure, we'll show you another game against this Feral Druid Holy Paladin. If you want to create cleave pressure, it's best to just swap between targets. Maybe if you can hit multiple targets with a Dragon Roar, great. If they are stacked up and you have a Rampage ready and you want a Whirlwind before you Rampage, go for it. But I think, once again, just in terms of my experience, it is better to just focus on that single target pressure as a Fury Warrior. Just because you deal a lot of damage. You don't have a Mortal Strike effect, but what's cool about twos is that it starts off in dampening already. And as the game progresses, that healing reduction that dampening provides is going to be more and more in your favor. So you're going to see me cleave here, and that's because they're both stacked up, and I can get my Siege Breaker on both of them. And so if they do get hit by abilities, it's actually going to make a difference to their health pool. So I'm going to swap to this Feral Druid, get some serious damage on them. And both these guys have trinkets already, but we're not really relying on a whole lot of complicated CC setup. It's really just more about the constant berserker pressure style that Fury can create. So the Feral Druid comes to hit me for a second. I'll swap to him and just chunk him down to about half health. We do get the Paladin's Trinket with that Hodge there, so that allows me to either fear the Paladin, hit the Feral, or more than likely wait till that stun is off DR and kill the Paladin in a stun. So be advised for that. But once again, my playstyle when I'm playing Fury, a lot of fast-paced damage. Don't be afraid to swap. But I feel like if the game turns into the enemy DPS training your healer and you're training the enemy team's healer, that's one of those situations where even if you can't always use it, this is why I play Death Wish in 2s a lot of the time. Because if you have that uptime to stack Death Wish, you may as well do it, especially when playing with a Holy Pally healer. Because Holy Paladins have so many ways of saving you when your Death Wish is fully stacked. You know, they can sack you, they can bop you, and that allows you to really make use of some really high Death Wish stacks and force a ton of pressure. The Pally has to run away, hit him with a Stormbolt, Rampage, Dragon Roar, kill him without bubble. So we put a little bit of burst on him there. But Dragon Roar is one of those things that maybe you don't see it as often. But I feel like if you don't need Blade Storm, Dragon Roar can do a serious chunk of damage. It's on a pretty short cooldown and definitely packs a punch. So when you're fighting a team like this is just another one of those quick things. If you're fighting like a Disc Priest, Fury actually shreds Disc Priest. So if you and your healer can figure out a way for you to get some consistent uptime on that Disc Priest, do it. And I am doing some whirlwinding here. The Rogue is right next to me, so I'm cleaving him down a little bit. But once again, my focus, I do believe, should be on this single target damage on the Priest. But a Fury Warrior with all of its fast attacks and physical damage can chop right through the armor of a squishy target like a Priest. And Priest does mostly single target healing. It's definitely an offensive kind of healer. But as a Fury Warrior, if you get uptime, you just shred right through that. He's kind of just trying to cast a Radiance, trying to do anything he can. Not going to be overly helpful. So if there's a few pieces of information about Fury, don't be afraid to stack Death Wish. Focus on that single target damage and just chop him up with that high damage, fast-paced style. You'll be 2400 before you know it. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.